Amateur golfers tend to think about the golf swing as a back as one piece, through as one piece. And I think, and we both think, I believe, there's value to that in certain areas.
Yes.
But in terms of rotation, that really couldn't be farther from the truth.
Absolutely.
And the thing that we're going to talk about that we want them to be able to do to rotate more is to increase your downswing rotation. You have to learn how to have the arms, hands, club, and body working in different directions at the same time.
Yep.
That's the key.
That's the key.
As you put it.
Yes.
And if I'm feeling the same thing, the whole theme here is I'm trying to cheat the race. To have more rotation, my body needs to be open more sooner relative to my arms and hands.
Yes.
Right? So if I hold my arms and hands back, that allows my body to go forward.
Time, yep.
Yeah, so it's a race thing. Arms and hands up and back as I feel the rotation.
Great. So good.
Ultimately, when we all go play, we want to feel good, right? I want to reduce the stress I have when I go play and increase my focus. And that's exactly what Canopy can help you do. If you're like most golfers I work with, it's really hard to go a full 5-6 hours in the course or even a 1-hour practice session swinging the club and not feeling some aches and pains. The tincture is one of the 3 options that they have that I absolutely love. Super easy, you can just have this right in your golf bag. Consistent use will help you relax, increase focus and cognition, and alleviate aches and pains. It comes in 5 amazing flavors: Skittles, Choco Mint, Peppermint, Lemon Lime, Cinnamon, and unflavored. Listen, if you haven't used CBD before, or you're skeptical, you're not sure, I get it, I was as well. But this thing is completely safe. It's precision dosed, third-party tested, and it tastes really good. If you're interested in Canopy and you want to purchase some down below, see the link in the description and use code Cogorno20 for 20% off. Okay, JT, so today's video, why amateur golfers can't create rotation or get open enough, right, during the downswing. You and I certainly in our coaching have a lot of golfers that come in and say, JT, I just want to rotate. Okay, I've been trying to rotate, I can't rotate. I see it a lot, obviously, with the online lessons we do. So I want to give an overview and then we'll dive into the details. I think one of the things that we look at as to why amateur golfers aren't able to rotate or get open enough is the timing.
Yes,
and they don't give themselves enough time to rotate. And in particular, to kind of spill the beans here a little bit, amateur golfers tend to think about the golf swing as a back as one piece, through as one piece. And I think, and we both think, I believe, there's value to that in certain areas.
Yes.
But in terms of rotation, that really couldn't be farther from the truth.
Absolutely.
And the thing that we're going to talk about that we want them to be able to do to rotate more is to increase your downswing rotation. You have to learn how to have the arms, hands, club, and body working in different directions at the same time.
Yep.
That's the key.
That's the key.
As you put it.
Yes.
So let's flip flop spots, JT, and let's kind of dive into this a little bit. Obviously, we just kind of talked about what that is, but if you could demonstrate like the good versus the bad of what are we trying to do when we say move the arms, hands in one direction and the body in the other? Then we'll get into the drills.
Yes, so what we see oftentimes, in the group is where a golfer actually does this sequence even backwards. So you explained how a golfer would be moving it, at the same time, which would be like this, which is great for like a pitch shot and chip shot. But we're trying to hit a 7-iron or a driver as far as we can.
Yes.
It's not going to be very helpful.
That's not going to increase someone's body rotation.
No, not at all.
Okay.
So the goals for us, or what I was saying about the sequence that we see most, is actually they get their arms going much before their torso or their hips go.
That's a good point.
So when we see that, their arms and their chest are actually more open than their hips.
Yeah. So
we obviously want to reverse that.
Yeah.
And so the feel that we've talked about to help really reverse that is this concept of the arms, the shoulders continuing to turn and rotate as we're beginning to change direction. And it's really important for us as we do this. We see this pretty much in every great baseball player ever, but we have to be a little bit relaxed as we do this. We can't be so tight where all of our muscles are contracted together and they move together.
Okay.
So we need a little bit more of kind of relaxation, continuing to keep the arms going as the body rotates open. So that's sort of the feel. The arms continuing to go, the club head, the hands, whatever you want to think about.
Going back this way.
Go back and up to the right as our torso, our hips, our knees, our ankles are beginning to open up.
And from a timing perspective, and this is one of the things we talked about, and I heard George Gankis was one of the first guys I heard about this, that really helped me was the timing and sort of winning the race. So if we're trying to get the pelvis and the rib cage more open when you go down, it would stand to reason that if that got a head start from where the hands and arms are, it would be easier to get them opening, right? Does that make sense to you guys? So if JT has the arms and hands going up and back, and the hands and arms are moving this way, that's like counter rotation, as he opens up towards the target, his lower body has such a head start compared to where his arms and hands are. They're not even at the start line yet. They're going away from it still.
Yes.
Right? And so that's a big reason why when you look at someone like they have fast hips or they have a lot of rotation, well, a lot of that's just a timing thing. They're so far ahead of where the arms and hands are at from a timing perspective. And if you're someone who feels like your hips kind of get stuck, we can switch spots, thanks. Who gets like, you know, we get a lot of golfers, they say like, hey, I feel like I'm kind of stuck in the mud. Like, I just can't get my hips to go. I can't get my body to go, etc. These are the sensations that they would need to have.
Yes.
Now, I think there's a tremendous caveat with every single video we do, which is you have to be able to put things in good places to motivate your brain to do certain actions.
For sure.
Right?
Always.
So if your club face is wildly open, if your downswing's a mile over the top, your brain's probably going to try and fix that, and you're probably not going to rotate a ton, right? So let's assume that's okay.
Yep. Well, I would say even that, this fixes it a little bit too, right?
With the hand and arm pass.
So if our hands and arms keep going, right? So if we do this little drill that we talked about, our hands and our arms keep going, that's very beneficial for us to actually have some type of loop in them behind us. So if they keep trying to go backwards as our hips open, we almost always get a little bit of a little transition, fall back in the shaft.
Okay. So that can help fix some of the...
Absolutely, because that's the first sequence, right? Is their arms and their wrists are going first, not their hips or their shoulders going first.
So let's talk through the general drill and then some feels. So the kind of this like float load or various versions of float load. I saw you in the video, you were kind of saying, let's get back to, you know, hands kind of hip high to start with this, and I'd pause here. And so I'm feeling my hands push up and back. And do I feel like I'm opening and kind of a little bit more pressure forward at the same time?
Yes, you want to feel the two things you want to feel from that perspective is your trail arm bending, so loading. That helps get the club going. Yep, and then your wrist hinging up, kind of those two things
like
happening.
This way.
Yeah, or hinging back even would probably be better.
So I'm folding my arm, hinging my wrist. That's the piece that gets the hands traveling, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm doing this.
And then the piece that gets the hips is that lead pocket going around, your knee starting to go back towards your toe.
Yeah, okay. And so as someone's gonna feel that initially, that's gonna feel like, whoa, like I'm not used to things going in separate directions there compared to normal. But to start the process with that, let me do one or two with that.
Yep.
And then we would hit right from that pause,
You would hit right from that pause. And you can baby them, you can absolutely baby them out there too if you want, just to get that sensation, right?
Okay, let me try one like that. So I'm gonna feel the arms and hands going up and back as my body feels like it's going forward.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, and so like what I feel like, and I think what someone watching might get a sense of, that's gonna feel rushed for a lot of players. And that feels like my lower body is getting way out forward way sooner. And if I don't have enough rotation, that's exactly what it needs to feel like.
Yes.
Right? Because it's not out and forward, it's back here doing nothing.
And doing nothing.
So it has to feel, it has to feel that way. I'm not gonna go here and feel all arms, no body. It's gonna feel like the complete opposite motion. I've tried a lot of different drills, JT, for this over the years, and I kind of always come back to this one. I think that this really does the best to be able to get the feels of getting someone open. Now, would you say as I'm doing this, would it be beneficial when I feel the arms and hands working up and back? So I feel like my pocket's going around like you mentioned. I can kind of feel my belt buckle or navel to the target. I feel like the left side of my rib cage around. I also, for me, it feels easiest to start that by having a little bit of pressure into my foot.
Pressure's first.
Pressure first, and then this is kind of going around. Yeah. So I feel hands up and back, pressure kind of down and around.
Yes. And I would do it, you know, when you're first learning this, you know, Eric's pretty good at it already, but I would do these, I mean, wildly slow, especially the loading of the arms. Yeah, that slow. That would be fantastic. That slow.
I'm now feeling like every student I talk to every day when I say, go slower, go slower. I'm trying.
I'm trying.
I'm going as slow as I can.
Trying to go slow.
Okay, slower. So I'm here.
Perfect.
More like that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. So to scale that, I hit that 60 yards?
Yeah, 70
maybe
yards.
70 yards?
Yeah.
So short and slow in the beginning. So one more time like that, JT. Hands go up and back. I'm creating some of that push forward, opening. And would I even feel maybe a little bit of the bicep kind of into the pec for a second?
Exactly. That's another great drill for this too, actually, is to take your, put it right up against your, perfect. Right up against your right hand. Push your arm up as you start to unload.
I open.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's a really awesome drill. You can even hit a ball like that too.
And if I'm feeling the same thing, the whole theme here is I'm trying to cheat the race. To have more rotation, my body needs to be open more sooner relative to my arms and hands.
Yes.
Right? So if I hold my arms and hands back, that allows my body to go forward.
Time, yep.
Yeah, so it's a race thing. Dustin Johnson will be like an extreme model of this we can show. Not everyone's gonna be able to move like him, but as an extreme model of, that's kind of what I would visualize as I'm feeling this.
Yes. As much as
Body's
you
opening, arms and hands are staying back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do one more float load. I'm gonna add a little speed here again, JT.
Love it.
Okay. Arms and hands up and back as I feel the rotation.
Great, so good. And I would say kind of the last thing, Eric, when you're doing these slow versions, right? Don't worry about getting so open. The goal is really to change the sequence up. And then as you go faster, you'll get more open.
Okay.
You just need to learn to change the sequence so that you don't get the arms going so much first.
Got it.
So that's the only caveat when if you're watching it and you're saying, hey, I'm not as open as I like. On the slow ones, that's fine. As you ramp it up, trying to really put some more energy into the system. Yeah, that's perfect there. So that's be the progression of how you want to practice it. Slow, a little bit of energy, ramping up the energy as you continue to do it, get more comfortable.
As you're watching me do it, is that pretty correct, or would you change anything else?
I think that looks really good. Last one was really good.
Okay, one more. Get a little mini lesson.
Yeah, that was so good.
So those last two, yeah, I wasn't trying to rip as much as like, let me just change direction.
Yes.
Okay. So float load drill, guys, different variation of those same things. You got to win the race, change direction.
Change direction,
right?
win the race.
Amateur golfers, yeah, maybe I'm pounding home that race thing too much, but it's not back one, through one as one piece. You have to have things moving in different directions, various ways to do it. Hold the arm back a little bit, do the float load. If you guys do want some in-person coaching as the off season comes, hit up JT, we'll put his info down below, or send us a message, I'll connect you with him. He's all over the world coaching golf, so he probably can be wherever you're at, or you can get to him. If not, and you want to check us out, cogornogolf.com, we coach together there. Every day we'd love to help anyone online with golf swing rotation or anything else. If you like these and you find value in these videos and really can help us out, I'd appreciate if you click that like button, subscribe, leave a comment. Any action like that, YouTube likes that, sends our videos to more people. We would appreciate that help. Thank you guys for watching.